My family sent me here as a punishment, she said. I replied, then stay with me. The first time I saw her, she was standing at the edge of the bus station, gripping a small suitcase like it might disappear if she loosened her hand. It was raining, not the dramatic kind you see in movies, but the quiet, stubborn drizzle that seeps into your shoes and your mood. I was there because my truck had broken down again, and waiting had become my unwanted talent. That's when she spoke, her voice barely louder than the rain. Do you know if there's anywhere cheap to stay around here? I looked at her, mid-20s maybe, tired eyes, city clothes that didn't belong in this small town. Something about her felt out of place, like a sentence dropped into the wrong paragraph. Not much, I said honestly. Unless you don't mind old motels with flickering lights. She let out a small laugh, then sighed. Figures. We stood there for a moment, strangers sharing the same damp silence. Then she surprised me. My family sent me here as a punishment, she said, staring straight ahead. I turned to her, unsure if I'd heard right. A punishment? She nodded. Long story. I don't know what made me say it. Maybe it was the way she hugged that suitcase like armor. Maybe it was the loneliness I recognized because I'd worn it myself once. Or maybe kindness just shows up when you least plan for it. Well, I said slowly, then stay with me. She finally looked at me, really looked, as if measuring whether desperation had made her reckless or if hope had made her brave. You don't even know my name, she said. I'm Sam, I replied. And you? Maya. I lived in a small house on the edge of town, nothing special. 2 bedrooms, peeling paint, a porch that creaked like it had opinions. When I offered her the spare room, she hesitated. I don't want to be a burden. You won't be, I said, surprising myself with how sure I sounded. That first night, we ate canned soup and toast. She barely touched her food. They think I failed, she finally said. That I embarrassed them. I waited. I was supposed to be a lawyer. Or marry one. Or at least be impressive. She swallowed. Instead, I quit a job that made me miserable, and they sent me here to learn humility. I snorted softly. Welcome to humility. Population, us. That earned a real smile. Days passed. Then weeks. Maya found work at a local cafe. I worked construction when jobs came in. In the evenings, we talked about music, bad bosses, dreams we never said out loud. She laughed more. I noticed she slept better. And somewhere along the way, my quiet house felt alive. Then came the twist neither of us expected. One evening, I came home early and found her sitting on the floor of the spare room, surrounded by open letters. Her hands were shaking. They're cutting me off, she said. No money. No safety net. They say if I don't come back and apologize, I'm on my own. For the first time since I'd met her, she cried. And for the first time in a long while, I realized something about myself. Helping her hadn't been charity. It had been healing, for both of us. You're not alone, I said, sitting beside her. Not here. But I can't stay forever, she whispered. I don't want to ruin your life. I looked at her, really looked. You didn't ruin it. You changed it. The emotional shift came quietly, the way real life usually does. One night, the power went out during a storm. We lit candles and talked in the dark. She admitted she was scared, of failing, of disappointing everyone, of being forgotten. I thought being sent away meant I was worthless, she said. But here. I matter. That hit me harder than I expected. So I told her my truth, that I'd once been the one everyone gave up on, that this town wasn't my dream but my second chance, and that kindness had saved me before I ever knew how to ask for it. She reached for my hand, not romantically at first, just human to human. Weeks later, her family called again. This time, she didn't cry. I told them I'm staying, she said after hanging up. Not to punish them. To choose myself. I smiled. That takes courage. So does letting a stranger stay in your house, she replied. Spring arrived slowly. Maya saved money. She talked about going back to school, on her terms. She talked about a future that didn't feel like an apology. On the day she finally moved into her own apartment, she hugged me longer than necessary. You didn't rescue me, she said softly. You reminded me I could stand on my own. I watched her drive away, feeling proud and strangely full. Months later, a postcard arrived. I wasn't sent here to be punished, it read. I was sent here to be seen. I pinned it to my fridge. Because sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness don't just change someone else's life, they quietly redeem our own.